What's up everybody, Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm going to be playing a little Chimera in the jungle with a Intellect and Growth deck. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Auto Health Potion, Ruthless, Mana Generator, Quick Exit, Armored, and Ferocity for my gems. Now for my cards, I have Coin Master, Exoskeleton, Font of Experience, the Mother Tree, Green Spring, Growth Totem, Tyrant, Swift Hunter, Vital Waters, Thunder Cleaver, and lastly O.P.D Militia. Now I've played a handful of games with this deck and I could never really get that O.P.D Militia tested out, so I'm actually going to rush that card in this video. And you know, my thought behind that is, if you don't know, O.P.D Militia, what it does is it costs 25 mana for every basic attack but does an additional 100 ability damage. So I'm thinking, you know, Chimera's whole thing is basic damage. You know, Ambush and his ultimate are really the only abilities that he has. Unleash just increases your attack speed and, you know, therefore basic damage. And with your passive, you can really stay in fight. So I'm thinking maybe these two cards, or this hero paired with this card, will just be absolutely devastating. Now, I do kind of play pretty reckless because I wanted to test out this card, and luckily we're in a match that we dominate, so I am able to test it out a lot, and I can really see how this card is played with Chimera. Now, one thing I did notice is I start out with Font of Experience. You know, just I have access to it, I want to try it out, and I would absolutely suggest picking a different card. Not only does this not allow you to put Growth Totem on as quickly as I would typically like, but it also, you know, that faster level is not near as critical for the jungler, just because you don't get near as much experience as, you know, a laning hero, and so I feel those two cards paired together are not as good. And the reason I've actually picked that Mana Generator is because, you know, yeah, you are zapping 25 mana to do that extra damage with that Militia card. So I'm thinking, you know, having that extra mana flow come in, you'll be able to do quite a bit more. One of the issues I have with that PTD Militia is it's very hard to tell when it's on and when it's off. It kind of fades the card to, you know, it kind of just slightly grays it out. There isn't really a big, you know, hey, it's toggled on, hey, it's off. And that's kind of one of the issues I have. Also, when you do toggle it on, it stops your action. So it's better to toggle it on and then start the fight. Don't start a fight and then toggle it on. And those are kind of just a couple of things that I've learned. So yeah, I might step away from using that Font of Experience, and you know, it really just depends. I think PTD Militia, or whatever, I'm just going to call it Militia from now on, I can't remember the abbreviation. But if you want to run that card, I would definitely suggest doing it later game. When you rush it, you miss out on a lot of things, and you'll see in this video that since I did rush it, I'm not really performing as well as I would like. I don't have near the sustain as I would like. And that's, you know, that's kind of a big hindrance to a hero like Chimera. Now, like I said, I've played a handful of games. I want to say this is about my 5th game with this deck. And I would keep getting it online right about the time we would win or lose, you know, right about the time the match was over. So that's really why I rush this card and really focus on it more. I think if you are playing a longer match, this card would definitely have a lot more impact than it did in this match, but we still do a phenomenal job. Our team is kind of all over the place, but their team is kind of all over the place as well. So it's not too big of a deal. We do end up really just dominating this match. And I gotta say, just with the growth cards alone, this is a very solid deck. Like I said, I would get away from that Font of Experience. I think getting a sustain card or something along those lines is, you know, a better choice. And I did think about running Cryo Agent, but if you run Cryo Agent, that is a lot of intellect that you will need. You know, I want to say it's a total of 8 points in intellect, which, you know, 8,000 gold, that's substantial, especially for that mid-early game. I typically build Chimera with, you know, agility, and I either build him more tanky or I build him more damage heavy, just depending on, do I want a late game Chimera or do I want an early game Chimera. And that really is shown when you're spending 8 points into intellect, which I did try, like I said, and I don't really feel that that's a good build. That's just a lot of wasted points there. Now, the beginning of this game starts off as any other. I'm really trying to get farm. Like I said, I've tried a lot of games. I really want to get this card online so I could show it off. I end up going in for a dive on this Rampage. We're able to get a significant amount of damage on him, but he's able to escape, but that's fine. We're able to down this tower. We get a 7-minute mid lane tower, which is, you know, that's very solid. We don't really have a true support. Our Iggy is kind of a support, but he's really a roaming support. He's been just really all over the place. So our Durango's kind of by himself, which, you know, in my opinion, Durango's a great hero by himself. I think he's, you know, he doesn't have the best escape, but he's got that slow. He does have an escape that's on a, you know, a 30-second cooldown or so, and he can really crank out some damage. So I think he's one of the better ADCs, or one of the better solo ADCs, and, you know, I think just kind of leaving him alone and letting him do his thing is a pretty good option if you're forced to do that. Now, I do dive this Greystone. Unfortunately, he was able to get out, and, you know, that's okay. I am getting a sort of level advantage with this Font, and I am able to get some farm to really put some points on, and this is going to allow me to just keep leveling up and everything like that. I really want to get my Tyrant on to really start getting that farm. One thing about Tyrant is you definitely need to spend some time in the jungle when you put that on. And I like to have my camps at, you know, full 5 stacks, which with 25 minions, that's, if you go around and clear all your camps out, that's 5 camps at 5 stacks, so you're at 25 minions, so you're halfway to completing that card, and I really like doing that. So really kind of judging the time that you're going to be able to put it on, making sure your camps aren't fully, you know, or making sure your camps aren't empty is kind of key. And paired with Growth Totem, these two cards really allow you to damage spike and, you know, slowly just keep that sustained damage on. Now, I don't know if I prefer having these two cards on at the same time, and I don't know if I like Tyrant enough to keep it over something like Thunder Cleaver, but since I am using that Militia, I'm thinking that's going to be my Thunder Cleaver if I need to do a massive amount of wave clear. So we will see, and hopefully we can get some good footage of this and really test this deck out. Now, if you see here, I did get enough points to put Tyrant on, and I immediately back and put this card on. But I am behind on points. Typically, I would already have 7 points into my affinity trees or my ability trees, whatever they are. But since I do have that Font on, that's kind of limiting, as well as its Font does not allow, you know, Font gives you nothing. It just gives you experience. It doesn't give you more damage. It doesn't give you more sustain. It doesn't really do anything at all other than, you know, boost your level very little. And I gotta say, as a jungler, I don't like seeing Font. I I've tried a handful of matches with it on. I've played some with it off, and I gotta say, putting it on a jungler, I don't feel that. Maybe if you're running a caster jungler, like Shimby or Countess or something like that, which I disapprove of, just saying. But if you are running a caster jungler, it might be a better card just so you can get that little boost of experience. But for Chimera, I would definitely stay away from it. Now, I did clear out 5-stack camps, and I just cut that out. No one wants to watch that. So I'm now securing my green buff. I'm going to go ahead, take out these minions, make sure my green buff spawns back in, and head to mid lane. Now, I've been completely neglecting the river buffs this match, and that's kind of a bad thing. I should be more on the ball with river buffs, but we have had pretty much 2 casters in mid lane, so those river buffs have been secured by my team quite a bit, and it's almost pointless for me to head over and try to get them. Now, I do tower dive this Murdoch. I have green. I mean, I was not worried about taking damage at all. We're able to make very short work of him. And then you see Wukong, you know, there's really nothing Wukong can do to keep me, you know, to keep me in his area. If you just simply turn around and run away from Wukong, you should be able to get away from him very easily. And you see there, he doesn't even chase me because, yeah, he knows I'm just going to be able to walk away from him. Now, I do go ahead, take off my Font of Experience, put on Growth Totem. It is 15 minutes in, which is a little late. I do not like putting on Growth Totem this late in the match. But the reason I did is because I want to focus on that Militia card now. And Growth Totem is a free card once you get 9 points. So I really want to just focus on that PTD Militia, and hopefully we can really see how it is. Without spending points, I am still going to go up in level. Now, my Faye and Iggy are out of position. They're currently running through the enemy jungle, rotating to that off lane. They get collapsed on by Rampage and Grux. I head over to help out, but, you know, we're able to take out this Grux, and I really wish Iggy would have taken this opportunity to get out, but he ended up staying in the jungle instead of running out of the jungle. He kind of ran across the jungle and went down that mid lane. And, you know, he should have went the way me and Grux went. That would have kept him safe. Unfortunately, he goes down, and we kind of get a little collapse on this Wukong. My ambush ended up hitting that wall, which he probably would have still got away, but no big deal. We chase him out. We're able to get this lane set and pushing back, and we're going to just continue our farm. I believe I still need a handful more jungle kills to actually get that Tyrant online, so I'm going to try to go get those jungle kills, and hopefully we can come back stronger. Now, while clearing out my jungle camps, we have a big presence in our safe lane. Durango's here with a huge minion wave and a Rampage with a Greystone. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go into the minions and start getting my stacks up. That way, when I do engage into a fight, I'm already going to have a significant amount of healing. You see there, I'm able to take out that Rampage fairly easily. Now, there's really no point in chasing that Greystone. He's going to get away. Greystone has a great escape, and with me having an ambush, yeah, I might be able to close that distance, but his escape will get off a cooldown, and we'll just end up jumping and jumping and jumping. You know, playing the leapfrog game is not going to be worth it. So I'm going to take this opportunity to head to the mid lane. Murdoch's pushed up by himself, which, you know, that's a bad situation. I'm going to make very short work of him and, you know, get another ADC kill, which, yeah, he should not have been out of position like that. Now, one thing about Murdoch is, with Chimera, he is able to shotgun you away or buckshot you away. So you want to use your ambush. If you can sneak up on him without using your ambush, you know, try it. But if you can't, you can ambush. That will slow him down. Just expect to be knocked away. Now, we do have a fight going down in this safe lane side jungle. I go ahead and zone this Rampage out. getting that stun out of the fight is a big key thing. And by just doing a small little rotation on him, he turns and runs. Now our Iggy ends up going down, and Greystone continues to invade our jungle. I'm going to head over there and really put some hurt on him. Now, I'm pretty low on mana, so I don't want to use any mana. I'm just going to fight him, get my health regen up, and, once he starts retreating, then I can actually use some mana to secure those kills. Now, we do get an enemy team rotation, but my ADC is here just raining down bullets. So I'm hoping by me kind of tanking this damage, we're going to be able to wrap some of these kills up. And you can see 2 of their heroes are very low. And fortunately, Durango was able to take out that Grux. And my team did have time to end up collapsing over there. So we traded a jungler for an offlaner, which isn't always best. But we did force their Greystone and their Rampage to back. And, that's a win. We got them out of lane. We're going to be able to kind of readjust lanes and things like that. Now, a little bit later, I am in the jungle. I'm making sure that that Tyrant is topped up. Now, if y'all know if you can actually see if your Tyrant has hit max, let me know. I have not noticed if that's a thing. I don't know if it's different on computer or PC, or if it's, if there just really isn't a, hey, you've completed it button. Man, that would be helpful, and I hope they implement that. Now, I end up taking out that Grux, and I'm going to focus on Murdoch here. I'd rather take out an ADC than worry about this Rampage. I'm still fairly healthy, and I'm getting my life back. Now, my plan is, once I get enough health, I'm going to go ahead and go in on this Rampage. And if you see here, that's exactly what I'm doing. I keep swinging to make sure that health regen is staying up. Currently, you can see I'm currently at 100 and something life regen, but he did stun me and that takes it away. Now, again, I'm going to get that health regen, get these minions down, and then I'm just going to dive this Rampage, take him out effortlessly, go back in, and end up finishing off this tower. Now, once I get this tower down, I will have enough farm to actually put on that Militia card. So, although this is fairly early on in the match, and I would typically like to have a better build before I go ahead and put that on, like I said, I want to rush this card, really test it out, and see what it can do. Now, if you see here, it's grayed out, and that means it's off. It is super inconvenient that it doesn't have an on and off button, but that is it off when it is grayed out. And it can kind of be easily distracting or easily missed when you're in a fight. Like you can see here, now would have been a perfect time to turn it on. And I'm thinking, hey, it's on because it's grayed out. I really hope that they put like a red border around it when it's active or something like that. I think there should be some kind of notification on cards when they're active, or like I said with Tyrant, when that card is maxed out, go have a little, smiley face emoji on it or something like that. Now, I do turn it on. You can see I absolutely slaughter this Grux right here. But at the same time, you can see I'm completely out of mana. So this really turns you into a one-kill hero. That ambush paired with just all those basic attacks I was doing, I output an insane amount of damage. But yeah, again, I have very, very little left once that happens. Now, after that Grux kill, we decided to go for Prime. And I'm Chimera, I can solo Prime, so, no big deal. And I do end up turning the card on a little bit through the fight, and you can actually see the damage increase. It's not a whole lot for Prime, but it does help. And, having an extra 50% damage for a basic attack is huge, especially if you use it paired with Unleash, where you're hitting, 1,000 times in half a second. That is an amazing card to have. Now I go ahead and secure green buff, and this is really the first test that allows me to see what this can do. I saw that Grux over here, and I want to go challenge him. Then I see Wukong, and Wukong and Grux both come over to me, and I'm able to put this, actually get into a fight with this card. I don't turn it on because I wanted to see what it was like without having this card. And you can see the sustain just really isn't there. Of course, I was fighting a ADC and a Grux, but I typically think I would have been able to do a lot more. And if you did notice, my ultimate was negated by that Wukong. You know, Chimera's ultimate, it's been very goofy lately. Sometimes when you actually do it, if the hero's not directly in front of you, you go through the animation of doing your Cole, but it doesn't actually do anything. So you kind of just turn into an easy target. But I was able to kind of test out this card, so you can kind of see this build. I don't have just a massive amount of sustain. I went down fairly easily there. So this is not just a super tank build. Now once I head back in lane, I'm going to go ahead, take out this jungle camp. I turn the card on, and you can see I'm clearing out this camp fairly easily. I think Thunder Cleaver still might be an amazing option over this card, but this card also helps me do significant damage to heroes. Now here's a pretty big wave, and you can see I turn the card on. I'm able to, you know, pretty much take these minions out in just a few hits, and I am going down in mana, but with that mana generator, you'll see here, I get my mana back very, very quickly. So, and this is really the reason why I picked Chimera for this, because of his attack speed, because I think he pairs well with having, you know, mana sustain cards. And, you know, yeah, you can see I'm getting my mana back very quickly, and I'm going to be able to use that card. Well, while this match wraps up, I'd just like to say that this card, having this deck, is definitely not my favorite on Chimera. I still did fairly well. I was 10-3-3. I think I might end up getting another kill or an assist coming up. But I had a decent game. I did rush this card, so I wasn't playing quite how I normally would. And I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of this card for Chimera. I think if you put it on a jungler, he would probably be the best jungler to put it on. But I just don't really see it having as much of an impact as something like Thunder Cleaver, where, you know, you're getting that range of damage, or having a card where, you know, you just straight up do more damage, or even have more sustain. But I'm glad I got to test it out. It was a fun few matches trying to actually get this. I really enjoy Chimera, even though he's just crazy easy to play. He's a very fun hero, and I enjoy playing him. So, no big deal. You know, if you want to test this build out, go ahead, but I think there are a lot better options out there. Well, I hope this video helped show y'all a deck maybe you haven't even thought of, or a card that you don't have a whole lot of experience with. It was a lot of fun to make, but I think I'll stick to more traditional jungle deck. Well, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, show me some love, leave me a comment, think about subscribing, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.